All right. Salute, salute, salute. Blessings. What it is, what it do, what's happening, man. It's Nocturnal Thoughts. I'm just doing a little bit of home workout, man. You know what I'm saying? Got my little dumbbells, you know, working my little arms or whatever. I was gonna go to the gym, but when I got up, I just didn't have it. Didn't feel like doing nothing. Uh, so when you don't feel like going to the gym, you better do some push-ups at home, just to keep everything moving a little bit. You'd be surprised how you can maintain, you know what I'm saying, your form at home and then go to the gym and not really lose or miss too many steps. You know what I'm saying? With that in mind, let me give a big old shout out to Big Charlo, Jamar Charlo, on his unanimous decision victory against Jose Benavides, being out the ring for, you know, almost 2.5 years and coming back in, not in tip-top shape, not in perfect form, knocked some rust off, got in a good 10 rounds. Um, in a fight that was dangerous. Jose Benavides was more his natural walk around weight. You can tell he was beating down the scale when he was fighting at, you know what I'm saying, 147 and 154. So he was tough competition. I thought, you know, it looked like to me if Jamar Charlo was in better shape, better conditioning, didn't have that rust on him, had more confidence in his conditioning, and was a little bit more sharp, he would have knocked out Jose Benavidez. But some of those shots that he was landing flush, um, I felt like had they had they been, you know, 2 years ago, then it's the writing was on the wall for me as far as Jamar Charlo. You know, he's just coming back and getting everything back into form. And that was a good fight. My hat goes off to both fighters. I like Jose Benavidez. Uh, he bring a lot to the sport. He can talk his shit. He got a certain look. He got a certain style. Uh, his family, they name is starting to, you know what I'm saying, be cemented into the sport. The Benavidez family, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's iron sharpening iron, even though he kind of passed the torch to his younger brother, and his brother is taking the game further than he could. But that's how it goes sometimes. Same thing with Jamel and Jamar Charlo. Jamel Charlo took the torch and he carried it. He carried it all the way up to a huge fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. He came up short, you know what I'm saying, jumping up 2 weight classes, you know, but at the end of the day, some people think he dropped the torch. And in brotherly fashion, when one brother fall, the other brother supposed to be there to try to, you know what I'm saying, break that fall or have his back to the best of his ability. Jamar Charlo jumped, grabbed the torch before it hit the ground and went out. And they family name, the Charlo name, can continue. You still see that Jamel Charlo, he got 2 losses, one controversial to Tony Harrison, and the one we all know he lost to Canelo was pretty much, you know, that was no argument. That was dominant performance. But he can't continue. You know what I'm saying? He still have big fights out there. I would still like to see him try to fight Tim Tszyu and even Terrence Bud Crawford. But, you know, that's a video for another day. Jamar Charlo, I give my respect to for dealing with, you know, his mental health issues going through his personal life. And I'm not going to dwell too much on that because that's his personal life. And anybody that's real life in this real life world, not in some assimilation of, you know, whatever people's imagination is, but in real life, blood, sweat, and tears, mentally, it is tough. A lot of people can be strong physically and be weak mentally, or vice versa. So I give my proper salute to both people that can be mentally strong. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. It is a blessing not to be taken for granted. The mental, you know, like they say, the mind is mind over matter. And if you don't mind, then it don't matter. Sometimes you can be strong as an ox or strong as a bull. But if you're going through some mental shit, you might as well be weak as a uh, a house cat or whatever the weakest little animal you can think of, or whatever weak thing you can think of. If you ain't strong mentally, then your body ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You might not even be able to eat when you're mentally weak, when you're going through it. So to go through that, to come back strong, to fight against a tough guy like Jose Benavides, who can try to put that mental pressure on you before the fight starts, talking about the Caleb Plant smack and all that, this and all that and that. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Charlo and Jamel Charlo, y'all keep y'all head up. Jamal Charlo, proper salute, good fight. Can't wait to see what you're gonna do next. Don't let yourself uh, don't let yourself go back in the other direction. You know, because sometimes in life, when life knock you back, you can take one step forward, and life can come knock you back again. Have you taken 2 steps back? So if you take one step forward, brace for impact, and then try to take another step forward, so on and so forth. My reaction to David Benavides, El Monstero, El Bandera Rojo, the Mexican monster, the Ecuadorian monster, against Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. First of all, let me say this. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade was outmatched and outsized, but he had the biggest heart. You know what I'm saying? He was in there with a giant. He was trying to be David against David. When I say David, I mean David versus Goliath. You know what I'm saying? With the slingshot. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade was trying to put all that faith in his heart, faith in his skills, you know what I'm saying? And slay a giant, slay a monster. Like I said, on the scales, he looked like a monster slayer, man. He was in good shape to be 35. You know what I'm saying? Second appearance at that weight class. He looked good on the scales, looked mobile, looked jovial, looked happy, looked like he was ready to, you know what I'm saying, let them hands go. And at the end of the day, Jose Benavides, once he rehydrated and everything, he came in there in beast mode, just too young, too big, too strong, and also skilled. And, you know, he just kind of stalked his man down and broke his man down with big, heavy shots. And you could see that once Demetrius started feeling some of that power, you know, he started to try to clinch. If his mouthpiece was getting knocked out, he was winded. His face started to, you know what I'm saying, not hold up. He was starting to swell up a little bit, but his heart just kept going strong. He was throwing some bombs too. He hit David Benavides with a couple of shots that was decent. Didn't have a whole lot of pop and snap on them, but they did, you know what I'm saying, stop David in his tracks, but not enough to knock him off his square. Like he just kind of ate him and kept coming forward. He was in great condition. And you know, like you said, winning the fight is winning training in the camp, preparing for the fight. He was well prepared. Physically, he was in good shape. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, he was in good shape with his family banner, with his, you know what I'm saying, his son. I think his wife looked like she do. He just carrying himself like a champion, fought against a tough, slick, awkward southpaw, you know what I'm saying, with experience. And I take my hat off to both fighters. I congratulate him for his victory. I congratulate Boo Boo for his heart and his effort. You know what I'm saying? Breaking down the action. It just was, to me, kind of a mismatch in the style. It just like David made that ring seem so small. I think a lot of people was going for Boo Boo was assuming that his ability to fight off the back foot, that he would work off of angles and started to, you know what I'm saying, befuddle David and then walk David into some big shots. But at the end of the day, it looked like um, David Benavides, you know, he can cover a lot of space in a short amount of time with long legs and long arms, and he can throw big heavy shots, and he can recover and put himself into defense with that shell faster than what people was thinking. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to play off some defense. He was able to pick off some of Boo Boo shots too and return fire, and he did it in a way that was just, you know, overwhelming to Boo Boo Andrade. And it kind of was a one-sided fight for the most part. Um, so now people clamoring for the whole Saul Canelo Alvarez. To me, a fight like that is not going to bait Canelo into a fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even going to look at it from that point of view. And I think that David Benavides should continue to try and just pave and carve out his own legacy without the mind frame of Canelo being at the pinnacle or at the mountaintop. There's other good fighters, other weight divisions he can conquer and just keep on being, you know what I'm saying, a dominant force. And um, he would be a people's champion either way it goes. Boo Boo, what's next for him? Um, I really don't know because, he's a little longer in the tooth and he had to wait out for such a time before he got his big moment. I'm pretty sure that this performance is not going to like have people feeling like he can go on and be like dominant in the sport. And I don't want him to become to like a gatekeeper and I don't want him to retire. So I would really have to sit and think of what his next move should be. Uh, I feel like anytime a great star like Boo Boo Andrade takes a loss, their next fight should be calculated against somebody that's tough challenge, but they have enough paths to victory to where if they choose for that to be their last fight, they can go out in style and you know what I'm saying, go out on a high note. So we'll see what his next move is going to be. I just know I take my hat off to him for showing so much heart, so much dog and tenacity and no quit. And that's what I respect my fighters for when they don't have no quit, when they you know what I'm saying, and when they outmatched and outgunned and they still going into the fire with their guns blazing. Gotta salute that. So that's really all my thoughts on the fight. It was a good fight, good card. Boxing wins, boxing fans win. I think the Benavides family, it played out how they thought. I don't really think that they just knew. I thought Jose Benavides would get knocked out by Jamar Charlo, and if he didn't, it was because Jamar Charlo had been on such a long layoff that he was going to have so much rust on him that his timing was going to be off and his conditioning was going to be off. And Jose Benavides being at a bigger weight, he was going to be a little bit better prepared to handle some of those shots. So that fight going the distance didn't just surprise me, but yeah, I think it didn't surprise the family either. Like that loss doesn't just take away from Jose Benavides. Therefore, they can go into the David Benavides fight with their confidence still high. I think if Jose Benavides would have got knocked out by Jamar Charlo in dramatic fashion, then David Benavides' mind frame could have been altered going into that fight with Demetrius Boo Andrade, and both of the Benavides brothers could have been going home with some L's. But that's not the way it worked out. Kind of worked out 50-50, a loss and a big win. You know what I'm saying? And not even a big loss, but a expected loss in a decision, and then a big win against Demetrius Boo Andrade. You know what I'm saying? They just gonna be moving onward and upward and forward into the future with their boxing careers. The only thing I hope when it comes to boxing fans, because I heard a lot of people, everybody got their opinions and everything like that, and I respect most people's opinions if they got respect in the way they deliver it. But I hope this kills that conversation from a few people that I heard say, if you picking David Benavides to win against Boo Boo Andrade, then you just don't know shit about boxing. And I get tired of people quoting the late, great Roger Mayweather when it don't applies. Anybody that's a fan of boxing and been watching boxing for a numerous amount of years, first of all, nobody knows everything about boxing. It's just too many different, it's science. Nobody know everything about science. It's too many elements, too many components, too many factors. It's always infinite amount of knowledge. Boxing is an infinite amount of knowledge to obtain. So don't nobody know everything about boxing. So when somebody's picking this guy and somebody picking this guy in boxing, it's usually a 50-50 situation because that's why we want to see the fights, to see who's going to win. 50-50. Now, some fights are going to be a little lopsided because, no man is created equally. Somebody might be bigger. Somebody might be more experienced. Somebody might just have a better style. Somebody might have a bad night in the office. We never know. That's why we got to watch the fights to see the outcome. But when we lead up to the fights and this person is saying, I'm picking this person, and the other person saying, I'm picking this person, you don't know shit about boxing because I picked this fight right and you picked this fight wrong. I hope this kind of starts to neutralize that whole conversation because it's generic. It's generic for you to just say, you don't know shit about boxing because you picking this guy. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, I digress. It's Nocturnal Thoughts. Salute, salute, salute. Big salute to Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade for showing that heart. Very inspirational. Big salute and congratulations to David Benavides. I wish you success in the future. Jamal Charlo, man, that was a big win, even though it was a decision. That was a big win and a step to regain your balance in this life and to maintain your integrity and to put it all back together. I can't wait to see your future decisions in and outside the ring. Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Salute, salute, salute. I'm gonna do some more curls and then I'm gone. Bow, bow, bow. Blessings.